remittance transfers have existed for centuries, and as a result of migration in search of improved employment opportunities. The flow of remittances to and within Africa has increased sharply, as noted by most of the speakers. This is in recent years. And in fact, again, to go into a few more figures, recent estimates show that remittances sent by the over 30 million African migrant workers reached more than 66 billion in 2015. And this, believe me, supported about 120 million family members living back home. And these estimates, including unregistered flows, even double this figure. Now, this is very important to the African Union, with the agenda that we are presently following. We're trying to build a bottom-up approach to our economic programs, and these remittances go to the very people who need it, basically the ones that we have difficulty reaching. And we believe that remittances help foster a sense of financial democracy, in fact, if you can put it that way. It represents a flow of financial income to those in the developing world, like the ACP nations and their people who need it most. Now, unlike official forms of aid, as has been noted before, remittances are distributed directly to the individuals who retain full discretion to decide how it will be used. This is very, very important, because it goes towards empowering those people, even those people in need. Now, the availability of remitted funds indirectly helps entire communities in which the recipients reside. Again, this supports most of the AU programs of reaching out to the people whom we think are underprivileged. Now, for many beneficiary families, remittances have come to represent a lifeline, allowing them to access higher levels of consumption and improve living standards, including better education, healthcare, and resulting in a more productive and healthy citizenry. Now, in some cases, remittances enable households to surpass the saving threshold and launch micro-enterprise activities. This is another aspect of remittances that we actually value in the African Union. Nevertheless, a significant portion of remittances flows to and within Africa. Unfortunately, as has been stated by most of the speakers before me, it goes through informal channels with all its antecedent disadvantages. And some of the major reasons that push migrants to choose informal channels, of course, are the high cost of transaction that also has been noted by previous speakers. Now, we can go over the statistics. We quote the numbers, but for me personally and most other people within the African Union, we appreciate fora like this, where we actually look at the opportunities rather than just spend a lot of time talking about the challenges. And this is something which I have said over and over again. I remember the first time I made a statement in one of the meetings at the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. I spent a lot of time on the issue of looking at the opportunities of migration. Migration is going to be here with us. It's been there before. People will always move. It's going to happen over and over again. So the best way we could probably look at these issues is if we look at the opportunities a little bit more and see how we can harness whatever it is, the benefits that we can get from there. That's why the AIR, for me, is one of the best things, since I took up office in terms of our deliberations with the European Union, the IOM, and all the other players, that we sit together and talk about migration most of the time. It's easier for me. It's a pleasure for me to be here, actually, to talk about the issue of remittances and how this is being organized, making sure that this hard-earned money by these people who cross the desert, they go through the eastern route, as it has just been explained by our director from the IOM. And for them to earn this money and for 20% or so of it to be lost to middlemen, I think this is something we should not allow. We should work very hard to make sure that we get over this. Now, we at the African Union, to help address the existing challenges, have emphasized the need to build capacities of member states to put in place mechanisms for better leveraging remittances and other diaspora migrant resources for social and economic development of the continent. I think this is basically what we're talking about here. And I'm sure from the deliberations of this meeting, I'll have a lot to report when I go back to the Commission to tell them that, yes, you were hoping for this, but there is a lot of work being done towards making sure that it really happens. AIR is designed to be a focal point for remittances in Africa as a repository of experience and provider of technical assistance, as well as capacity building to help AU member states track efforts to significantly decrease the cost of transfers to and within Africa, and to strengthen their capacities in the area of remittances, data collection, measurement and reporting, as well as implementing strategic tools to use remittances for improved financial inclusion as a way of poverty reduction. Poverty reduction is something we talk about in the African Union quite a lot. And this again tells you why we are so interested in the issue of remittances. Now, I believe this peer-to-peer exchange meeting would be a wonderful opportunity for you experts from various regions of the globe to discuss and share experiences on this very topical issue, remittances. Accordingly, I encourage all gathered here and wish you a very, very fruitful meeting. Please give me something very substantial and encouraging to report back to the Commission when I go to Addis Ababa. So thank you very much.